You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Hi, this is Alex Jones. Remember when I said you spell freedom F-O-O-D? It's really true. Legislation is in the process of restricting the growing and sharing of food. And a record number of Americans, over 43 million, depend on the government to feed themselves. Food prices are going up for Americans. Prices are going up, even for eFoodsDirect.com. This will require their first price increase in 3 years. The most important thing Americans can do for their own freedom and survival in these hardest of times is to get supplies of high-quality storable food. Because of the huge response to this buy 3 and get 1 free special, eFoodsDirect.com will continue this special until September 27th. Right now, you can buy 3 and get 1 free at the old prices. But move fast, because this offer ends September 27th. Call 1-800-409-5633 or on the web at eFoodsDirect.com/Alex. That's 800-409-5633 or on the web at eFoodsDirect.com/Alex.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
It's our final segment with Tommy-Pallotta. I'm going to get into the nature of the New World Order, their master plan, some of their biggest secrets, but also the secret of free humanity. Coming up in the next segment, we've got some more video and news we're going to be announcing throughout this 4th hour. We are live September 27th, 2010 on this Monday edition. Let's hurry with quick questions or comments for Tommy-Pallotta, premiering the internet version of Collapsus here on the show today. Very honored. Mark in Texas, you're on the air. Thanks for holding.
Hey, good speaking with you, Tommy and Alex. I just wanted to say that, like, during a crisis, like, we say that, like, the internet and cell phones go down. I think that we're most vulnerable in that state because the population is only going to have a few outlets where they're going to have information.
And then when it turns back on, the Pentagon says you won't have the freedom anymore.
Yeah, that's why, I'm a rancher in Texas, and there's very few people that actually know that can actually go past 3 days without having to go to a store or needing gas or needing some sort of being on the grid somehow. But
yeah, we have to realize how unnatural this existence has gotten, and it's allowed the globalists to set up their scientific dictatorship, and now that they've got us dependent on them, they're slowly trying to cut off our resources to make us even more dependent. Tommy?
I agree. I mean, you don't really realize it until you're without it. But everything that we do, we're completely dependent. All of our modern society, everything that we do is dependent on energy right now. And as soon as that goes away, everything's going to collapse.
And they're not just blocking new technologies, they're trying to shut down the family farms and ranches. Tommy, have you seen all that legislation where you won't even be able to pick peaches at your own orchard and sell them on the side of the highway?
Yeah, I've scanned the headlines. I've seen that, yeah.
It's amazing. Anything else, Mark?
Well, if you just had any ideas about, like, maybe some low-tech ideas for communication, say that if cell phones and everything else went down, that some way that we can keep media still going. Well,
the biggest thing is everybody should save this show, my films, other materials, and have hard copies of it, because they are moving into a Chinese-style internet. They're certainly attempting that. But we're on shortwave as well, and start your own local hand-delivered newsletter. Get a couple sponsors, like the Green Sheets. Create micro-local media with your own views. But it takes time, but just keep doing it. Any comments on that, Tommy? Ways to really stay connected?
Well, I mean, I think what he's trying to say, though, is that if they do pull out all energy, say they just stop the energy grid, how are we going to play your movies? How are we going to get the word across? You can't run a DVD player. You can't run a TV, And so it really is a pretty good way to just bring everything to a grinding halt. So I think we need to be aware of that. We need to be prepared for that.
Well, I mean, the globalist, John P. Holdren, under a fake environmental guy, says he wants an end to U.S. industry. Well, that's what NAFTA and GATT were always designed to do. And then they move it all to China where there's no environmental controls. Mark, thank you. Brandon in Texas, last caller, but I'll get to Brian and Ernie. Just Tommy will be gone. Brandon, you're on the air. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm 19, and I just want to say that this is what pisses me off the most about the New World Order is the fact that they're suppressing these free energy technologies. And I just want to direct Tom to the Orion Project. I think it's led by Dr. Stephen Greer, and I think their main focus is just to get a bunch of scientists and stuff who know how to create these free energy systems together and to like fund it and build it so that it can't be suppressed, and so that when they release it, the average person can buy it. So
we're out of time. We're out of time, Brandon, but that's a good point. And that's what Collapsus and other projects like it are doing, is it's getting people to look around them and realize, where did this meat come from? Where did the power and these lights come from? Where did this camera come from? You know, how did this watch get made? You know, it makes you think about your environment, and I think that's really the beginning of awakening. Tommy, closing comments.
I agree. And again, thanks for having me on your show. And if we could give Google and the CIA a special birthday message, let them know that we're onto them, and do a search for Collapsus, Post Energy and Conspiracy. I'd be happy.
Collapsus, Energy, Conspiracy, those 3 words. We'll see if it hits #1. It's up to the listeners. Tommy, thanks for giving us an in-depth first view of the Collapsus.com website. Search term to get into the site, InfoWars. God bless you, my friend.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Always great to have award-winning filmmaker Tommy-Pallotta on with us, maker of Scanner Darkly and Waking Life.